Cairo, Egypt. Towering over the limestone desert sands of the Giza Plateau stands the oldest of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. It is called the Great Pyramid of Giza. Built in 2600 BC, the monolith is flanked by 2 smaller but equally colossal pyramid structures. The Giza complex is a monumental achievement in ancient engineering and a marvel that has confounded scientists and researchers for centuries.
The Great Pyramid on the Giza Plateau is an astonishing construction. There's 2.3 million blocks of limestone in the structure itself. I mean, it takes an hour to walk around it, at least. But it's also the fact that you have these giant platforms, megalithic blocks, perfectly created.
Inevitably, people want to ask how on earth a civilization thousands of years ago could have achieved this. The right angles at the corner are almost absolutely bang on 90-degree angles. The lengths of the sides are almost perfectly equal on all 4 of them. They are closer to perfect than would be required for modern buildings. It is an unparalleled achievement.
It's possible we'll never completely understand how the Great Pyramids were constructed with such remarkable precision. But perhaps an even greater mystery is why were they built in the first place?
The Great Pyramids of Giza are one of the great untold mysteries. We're not quite sure how they were used, but what we see today in the Pyramids of Giza are the sort of the bones of these buildings. In Egyptian antiquity, Pyramids of Giza were encased in white limestone and presumably polished. And so during the daytime, you would have seen these sort of white mirror-like surfaces. What we're missing is limestone covering and the golden top piece. But the pyramids themselves don't have any particular explanation of why they were built or the symbolic purposes of it. So part of the mystery is trying to figure out what is this thing?
Ultimately, there are more questions than answers when it comes to the pyramids on the Giza Plateau. Some of them were used as tombs, but in my own opinion, that was a secondary function for many of them.
If the Great Pyramids weren't strictly used as tombs, as most mainstream Egyptologists maintain, then what was their fundamental purpose? The Egyptian Museum, Cairo, Egypt. This massive building houses the largest collection of ancient Egyptian antiquities in the world. Among the many treasures is a 3,800-year-old capstone from the pyramid of King Amenemhat III, that some believe is connected to a mythical Egyptian object known as the Benben Stone.
In the Cairo Museum, there is a pyramidion, which is made out of a beautiful black basaltic type of rock from a pyramid that seems to be our best representation of what the Benben stone was like according to the ancient Egyptians. That Benben stone goes back to maybe 1850 or so BC, so it's not the original one, but it represents what the original one was. In ancient dynastic Egypt, there was a literal Benben stone. That Benben stone has long been lost, unfortunately, but some people have suggested maybe it was a meteorite that was pyramidally shaped, and by the ancient Egyptians, it has sacred power.
While some believe the original Benben stone was a meteorite, legends from ancient Egypt suggest it was a place of divine creation.
Egyptian mythology says that there were once just waters of chaos. And then what broke through the waters of chaos was an island in the shape of a pyramid called the Benben. And it was here that the sun god Ra came to Earth and began life. When they built the first pyramids, it seems that they were trying to recreate this Benben stone. Interestingly, on top of many of the early pyramids, they actually had a recreation of the Benben stone on top of them, a capstone, which was covered in electrum, which is a alloy of gold and silver, so that it shone in the sunlight. All this showing that the pyramids are connected with the sun and gaining the power of the sun, or the sun god, Ra.
There's also these ideas that these Benben stones were actually some kind of power collector. Some people suggest they attract lightning. So there's different ideas about this, but it has been suggested in Egyptian tradition that placing such a thing on top of a pyramid would almost be like connecting with the solar energy, but also connecting with the cosmos.